Welcome back to No Remorph. It is Wednesday night. We are a half hour earlier than we used to be, so hopefully we get some stragglers coming in here getting adjusted to the new time frame, but that was basically done for a couple different reasons. It was late for our East Coast people. It was also really late for Jason. He does a long commute in the morning trying to get to the Minneapolis St. Paul area. So when we'd run to that 11:30 midnight time frame, that was just killing him week in and week out. So bumped it up a half hour or so, and you could tell he still looks a little mad, maybe not quite as mad.
I have no idea what's going on with the color, man, but I'm not this red. I'm a little sunburned, but not nearly that bad. So
No, it's got you pretty pink over there, so
yeah.
I just assume that's something going on with the camera. But had a fantastic show last week. If you didn't catch that, go back and give it a view. It was a lot of fun. We got great guests in here tonight, and I say guests because we weren't sure, so we did start knowing that we were going to have Dan in here, but he brought his beautiful wife Kristen too. So we got a 2-for-1 tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun to talk to these guys. Been around for a while. They started in on the DG stuff super early before you saw a lot of those combos out, and they had some great luck with it. Besides, I mean, they hit some pretty good odds on combinations there just wasn't a lot of out there. So impressive collection, and curious to see where those plans are going. So we'll touch base with them in just a bit here, but did want to put out a couple pieces of news. We did get some confirmation. We are good to go for September in Wausau.
Yay.
That one's going to be fun. We're going to vend again down there. I know that's kind of a few months out, but a lot of the midsummer stuff, we were either too late to get registered or couldn't squeak in there due to too much overlap or issues on our side for scheduling. So that's the first one we know of.
Great for geckos. I'll have lots of babies by then.
You have lots of babies coming all the time, which
I
was going to let you kind of give us the news on that, Jamie. So tell us how it's going. What popped out in the last couple of weeks? Let's get a little heads up.
I got 3 albinos in the last 6 days. So that's what I was hoping for. And I had a male and female with unknown genes. We were given them as pets, and they produced 2 albinos in the same clutch. It was so exciting for me. So we had no idea what they were. That was super fun. And then Pip and Rango, they gave us a raptor, which is Tremper, Eclipse, and albino all together. So it has red eyes. It's really awesome.
Yeah, that raptor is a really low odd animal to hit out of that combo. So and wild looking. I mean, the albino and the pinks and oranges and purples are already a little weird, but then you throw on those bright red eyes and the thing is pretty crazy looking. So
it's really
very cool.
So watch Instagram. I'll be posting pictures after their first shed. So
nice. Yeah. So that's been fun. We get to watch the cam all day while we work from home, and it's wiggling eggs and little noses popping out all week. So it's been a lot of fun to see that. Something different, a little different than the ball pythons. But Jay, what do you got over there other than a fake sunburn?
I got a new light box, so I'm pretty excited. Haven't even unpacked it yet, but I won't have to take my photos on a old scrap piece of board that's smaller than the snake anymore, and get some decent lighting. So that'll be awesome. Excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie loves that here. We got one sometime back now for all the Morphmarket ads and things. Take them in a good light and a nice backdrop. And
some of those little boogers can find their way out, though. Be careful.
Yeah, they're quick. When they want out, they'll get out for sure. Right? So mostly good news. We do have a 5540 ARS rack showing up tomorrow. We've got a couple animals coming from Tyler's Toxic Balls, getting into some KRG combos from him. That one we've been waiting on for a little while. We worked with him ages ago on a pair. Yeah, and it's just, either been weather or some other things that came up. Completely fine, obviously, no issues there, but super excited to see them, super excited to put KRG into some of the stuff we're doing too. So that's going to be cool to see.
Yeah.
And then just one piece of kind of cruddy news, and it's just a heads up for everybody out there that's watching. Watch the Morphmarket auctions, guys. We had a situation where a fairly decent priced animal got bid kind of up to that $230 range. and then boom, 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 $10 increments way outside of the value of the animal where it was sitting. So from 230 up to 500 where it stopped, auction ended, and buyer wanted to backtrack to his 230 because that was the last competitive bid. Just a heads up, that is not how auctions work, guys. You bid 500, you pay 500, end of story. Otherwise, no one out there has a fair chance. Every monsoon I ever saw, I would start at $10 and go to 30 grand, and then I'd want it for $10. But that's not how it operates, guys. I think that's
Don't we
fairly
wish?
obvious, right? But the sad part is, guys, Morphmarket doesn't have a real solid answer on this. They're a little wishy-washy. They haven't given us any kind of a, yes, you can stick to your bid. They've given us that confirmation, but like they need some firm rules in place on this. So if you are auctioning animals, if you are bidding on animals, be prepared to pay what you bid. I think that's just common knowledge and common sense, but common sense is a huge a huge deficit these days, it seems. So
Right.
heads up, nothing else. I mean, it'll all get squared around. It's going to be fine. Please don't pull that if you're doing it intentionally. F you and move on. But let's just
agree,
not do
Ken.
that. So absolutely uncalled for,
500.
uncool. Yeah, and we're just sticking to that. You pay your bid.
It's either that or
I'm
cancel
sorry,
the whole auction and do it over.
Yeah.
Right. But so that's where we sit on that. So enough of the negative. Let's get to some more positive stuff. We added a couple more affiliates this week. We got Tyson over at Black Lagoon Creatures. Super cool guy. I don't know if you guys have been catching his little storyline he's been putting out with the different waves of the Black Lagoon taking over all the breeders headed to an expo, and they get it's almost like a Goosebumps or a comic book horror series. It's a very cool idea and very well done. So kudos to him, and thank you for
show up
joining
in
that.
the story.
Right, at some point you might be popping out there, but all kinds of people across the community involved, in the storyline. So that's really a lot of fun. But he joined up with the affiliates today. Justin over at Pressure Pythons also jumped in. One of the RWO guys over there. Everybody's pretty familiar with him, I'm sure. But he had mentioned it some time back, and we got talking back and forth and pitched him in there. So that group is growing, guys. The Forge coin is also growing. Those pots are getting bigger and bigger. Don't hesitate to spend that stuff, guys. I mean, we see everybody at the free spins for a shirt and a hat, and everybody's excited to get that stuff, but you're sitting with free Forge coin. Spend it on that shirt and hat from one of these 20 choices. You know what I mean? You got all kinds of cool people out there to pick from. And just let us know. We're more than willing to throw that coin at that purchase and make it happen. So use the stuff, have fun with it, and get it back in the community, right? Those breeders that you like and you support and you go on their shows and you watch all their stuff, or you just dig their shirt or hat. They got a great design and you want one. Let us know. We'll help you out with that. So
if you run out of Forge coin, just come back and get some more.
Yeah.
Right? It's getting handed out all the time. And there will be another $10 at the end of the show, guys, for the trivia. So pay attention. Hopefully you get that right. You get another $10 in your pocket. So that all being said, I think we can kind of push through. Am I missing anything, guys? Getting really good at this. We're down to like 10 minutes on this intro.
I was going to show off the giveaway gecko tonight, but I brought her up here and she's a little bit hype, and I didn't want to risk the cat and the dog and her getting loose. So I decided against it.
Yeah, she is really pretty. And thank you again, Ken, on that. LMK was a local breeder to us. Yeah, we had no idea it was a local breeder to us. But Jamie passed that giveaway around, and Ken happened to be one of the people that entered. He doesn't do leopard geckos. He's like, do you guys at the Forge want this thing? Of course, Jamie's jumping up and down. Yes, I absolutely want it. So we get talking with the breeder, and they're only 40 minutes from us. So it didn't have to be shipped, didn't have to take a ride anywhere, went to a place where it was wanted and needed. So all worked out. But thank you again, Ken, and thank you, Shed It Out Geckos, for the gecko. So yeah. I think that covers it. Who all's in here? I see a lot of different numbers up there. I haven't seen a face yet. So we got Duval. Good to see Mike Duval in here. Appreciate you coming out almost every week. It's been good support for sure. And there he is, the latest affiliate, Tyson. Great storyline. Go check his account and read back on those. They're awesome. Vance, good to see you from Blue Zombie. Appreciate you, sir. And yes, hop over to RW Broadcast, RWO Broadcast Network. Check out their shows. Kike, hope things are going well down there. It looked like everything was going the right direction the last few updates, so I hope that's still the case, man. K&D, got Corey and Dustin. Appreciate this father-daughter duo. What a bunch of fun that episode was.
Yeah,
that was a ways back, but well worth the watch.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Sure.
Somber Cactus. That's a brand new one. I absolutely dig.
This is Shut It Out Geckos.
Oh, okay. I absolutely dig the little caption down there too. That's a cool image. But good to see you guys. Appreciate you coming in. And I assume that's Chris or Christine.
Yes. Yeah.
Tim, good to see you. That's the old man that always checks in on us, make sure we're still upright. Brand new beer out today, Dad. Just got done brewing, so it is delicious.
Sweet.
Connie, that's the other half for Tim there. Mom and Dad watching tonight. Good to see you. Appreciate it. These are some Florida people, Mom and Dad. You're going to like this. Blakers, good to see you. Every week he's in here giving support. Appreciate that 100%. And we got Big John down there. John and Chance, kind of a duo. Also, don't forget Bridget either. She does all of the important stuff. Those guys just kind of tag along. So we got Big Ken, LMK. Appreciate you, sir. Started all of that RWO business and is rounding up a head of steam over there. So great bunch of guys. A lot of fun. Appreciate them. Shauna, appreciate you. That's the wheels on the Fat Man bus, Fat Man Nation. She keeps all the backstage stuff going on for that group and does a great job. She's always out supporting too, which is awesome.
Yeah, she is.
Good day, Chris from Down Under. Got some lace monitors down there and some other Australian stuff. Australian guy, but really cool animals on his side and a super nice guy besides. Jason Opelt, old family friend for years and years. Known him since I was 20, which means that was about 800 years ago.
400 years ago.
But yeah, no, he's a fantastic guy. He comes out every week to hang out with us. Appreciate it. Mr. 2%, Sammy Vargas, Bull Pythons. Appreciate you, sir. If you need OD stuff, Calico OD Pied stuff, Sammy's your guy. Dickie
or
Foster.
Just a good morning.
Yeah,
or just a good morning,
sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate Dickie, too, coming around the last corner on the lap. I think his last pit stop was successful. It looks like he's in second or third place here, but maybe he'll overtake the lead. Checkered flag to Dickie Foster. Appreciate you, sir. Got Chris, Untamed and Unhinged Reptiles. Appreciate that whole network over there. He's got a lot of great shows, guys. Pop over and watch those. Tommy, appreciate you. Your
My
Vonka.
buddy.
Hope she's hanging out there watching too, but that's Jamie's gecko buddy right there. Tommy's an awesome guy, man. Been a ton of help for sure. Riley, appreciate you guys coming in. And I never know, is it the young person? Is it the parents? Never know who's watching for sure, but appreciate their account.
Get a salute.
We'll have to have them on, actually.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Prophecy.
Devin, southeastern Wisconsin guy there. Known Devin forever too. Fantastic dude. Josh at Morphic. Good to see him. Another lace guy. We're into lace fairly heavily, but Josh certainly is too. Will's hella heat. Look out for this guy. He's definitely be grabbing the low-hanging fruit for humor tonight, guys. So don't take it personal. He's just a dickhead sometimes. Brave Adventures. Good to see you, sir. Hopefully the smoothie went well. I know you had a smoothie, so hopefully that went well. Good to see you as always.
What flavor soon.
Oh, yeah, he'll put it in there. Jeremy.
This guy.
Yeah, good to see Mr. Wolfel in here. Right. And chatted with him earlier today. It's kind of funny, but he's got some awesome bang projects going. So,
yeah.
Chris, over at Balls Deep, had your shirt on the other day on another podcast, Chris. Hopefully you picked that up. If you didn't, I'm sure you don't care, but It's just such a cool logo. Chris is back to back. Another Chris. 15 minutes of lame. We'll just call it runner up last year, but Chris did an excellent job, man. It was awesome to get to know him. For sure.
That catches us up.
That catches us up. And yes, please listen to Blakers.
Right?
Hit the like button if you're hanging out in here.
We could have them all vote if they want to see Kristen, because we don't have anything planned for the hot seat for Kristen, but a thumbs up on that like button, that maybe Jamie does a hot seat.
There you go.
Back there going, no.
Kristen's like, no, stay away from that like button. No,
I did find one if she is willing. I'm not going to make her, but I do have one available.
Oh, no, we're definitely making her. She is doing a hot seat. And I don't care which one goes first, but yeah, Kristen and Dan are both getting in there tonight. We're going to do both. So no squeaking out of it. You're on the show. We're going to do it. They're fairly easy. It's fine. But let's do our quick commercials, guys. Again, Forge affiliates, there's a ton of them. So quick look at the faces kind of popping up through this next reel, and somebody out there has to have something you want. Throw your $30 at it, get a nice hoodie or something, and it goes in these people's pocket and helps support the community, like I say. So do that, please, and we'll be right back with our guests tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Could be anywhere, but you picked here. So see you in a few minutes. Appreciate it. Where the heck are we, though? Oh, we got to start here, don't we? Affiliate time. All right, so there's that, guys. New shed test out, too. Just announced that Monsoon is available now. So all you people wondering, hey, is this hat? Is this even a recessive? Don't know, but he can tell you if it's het or if it's homozygous. So send your sheds in for Monsoon, guys. That is brand new. So appreciate all the sponsors. Typically, we hit all these people up, but we're going to mention them right now. We got Bone Daddy. Vinnie over there does all kinds of laser engraving stuff. He's big in Monarch projects. He's also stepping into some other things too. I believe he just grabbed, what was the gene? I think he's doing Monsoon too, but Sunset, I know he's got some of that going. So, so we got Vinnie, Bone Daddy, we got TJ and Greg over at Reptiles. All of these people are going to get us some material so we can actually string together a nice commercial for them, but I don't want to just throw up stuff off their Instagram and make some hokey commercials. So we're going to mention them and appreciate them. But Chris at BNS too. Jay, that's your deal. You can pop him up if you want real quick, if it helps you.
Well, sure. Look, folks, the Forge loves nothing more than to lend a helping hand to someone in need. So if you or someone you know has need for premium substrate, we have good news. Chris over at BNS Reptilia carries Coco2go and The Chipper, 2 high-quality reptile bedding products. But the good news doesn't stop there. Chris also carries a variety of animals and accepts Forge coin. For anyone in the market for colubrids, ball pythons, blood pythons, or boas, make sure you reach out to Chris at BNS Reptilia and show him your Forge coin.
Yes.
Whoa. That was like the
Jay.
little local commercials before the movies at the movie theater.
At the furniture store.
Yeah, it was exactly like, do you need a new ottoman? We've got the deal for you.
I love that.
But yeah, that was perfect. We hadn't heard it quite that way, so I appreciate that, Jay. Well done. Dwight, good to see you, sir. Thanks for dropping in. And then Rat Bastard, too. Mark Middlestead out in Pacific Northwest. He's actually got some really nice stuff he's bringing in to get his projects going, but he's got all kinds of odd things, chameleons, boas. He's got the rainbow boas. She has to. It's like a rite of passage. Exactly, John. She is not squeaking out of the hot seat.
Kristen, John at Mission says you have to do that.
She's not getting off the hook that easy. Yep. But yeah, Market Rat Bastard, very nice guy, and he jumped in there too and said, "Hey, I'd like to sponsor this show." So we appreciate that 100%, yeah. Mark. Thank you very much. Guys, go check out his stuff for sure. And then the last one, and before we get the guest, I'm sorry, guys, this is running a little bit long, but this is only till July. So this is winding down. It's been out there for quite a while. Deeds Not Words, guys. This is the Fat Man Nation, Chris Eaton over there. Put together this campaign for these guys. This is for Operation Deeds Not Words. So they go to Camp Freedom, gets these guys out of kind of their everyday doldrums, things that they maybe don't get a chance to do or haven't had the opportunity to do in a long time, things they enjoy. Camping, hunting, fishing, outdoor activities, stuff like that. So first responders group too, guys. So this is not just vets, but all of those people that we all count on every day to keep things running in our favor and all of the freedoms we enjoy at their expense. So give a little bit back. T-shirts, all the proceeds go towards this. There's cash donations out there. There's all different tiers of cash donation too that do reward you a little bit back at those tiers. So again, this runs through the beginning of July. And then we get these guys out there and have something back from what they remember and enjoy. So very important. I feel like that's very important anyways. So if you can, definitely throw some money that way. If you can't, that's completely understandable too, but appreciate Chris for doing that 100%. So that being said, we got
get your shirt, become a verified badass.
There you go. He does say that, actually. We got these guys bouncing back there. I already feel like we put them off way too long. I'm excited. You guys are excited. Jamie's excited to go take notes and sort comments. If you have questions for these guys, pop them in there. We definitely want to address those if we can. Yeah. And make them direct for the guest, guys. If you have something you want to hear from them, shoot it in there and we will try to get it as best we can. Okay. You too. Appreciate you. Definitely 100%. So Jeff, thank you, sir. And without further ado, Jamie, you ready?
I'm ready.
Head back. All right. Bye. Dan, Kristen, you guys ready? You all set over there? They got 2 thumbs up. All right, here they come, guys.
Hey, guys.
Dan, Kristen, welcome to the show, and thank you for coming out tonight. Hope you had a fantastic day. Did you have a great day?
Yeah. Thank you for having us. How you guys doing?
Good.
Really well, man. We're hype. I'm hyped.
I'm a little hot.
Yeah, you look hot, Jay, over there, that bright red. But a guest we've wanted to have on for some time. I browse your Instagram, I browse through your stuff, and I see the animals that you produce, and it's kind of right down. Yeah, it's right down the lane that I personally like and toward my preference. So exciting to have you guys on here. But for those that have not, for those that haven't gone over to your Instagram, have no idea who Dan and Kristen are, tell us a little bit about Vision Quest, how it started, how long ago, and kind of just where you're sitting, just a synopsis, if you would.
Sure. So, like most people, I started with reptiles when I was a kid. Growing up in Illinois, used to catch snakes and lizards and salamanders and that kind of stuff. Um, I got a boa constrictor probably in the late 80s. I bought a boa constrictor, and I bought a ball python back probably like 1989, 1990. It was my buddy built me an enclosure for my boa constrictor. I said, well, how much you want for it? He made me a custom enclosure. He goes, well, just buy me the ball python. We used to have a reptile show every month in Chicago, way before Tinley. And so I bought him a ball python. It was $10, $10 back then, and
Wow.
it came free with a bunch of ticks and stuff like that on it. You get all that extras.
Nice. Bonus,
And
yeah.
the ball python, and my buddy took it home, and he told me a couple days later it laid eggs. It was wild caught obviously back then, and it laid eggs. And back then nobody knew what to do with the eggs, so they never did hatch. And then I kept all kinds of snakes back then, garter snakes and different kinds of snakes like that. Then I moved to Florida in the early 90s, and I started working with the big cats and exotic animals, and also reptiles. I was catching reptiles all the time, going and herping. And fast forward a little bit, I met the Bells, which is Reptile Industries. Became friends with them back around 2000, and I think it was right around 2010, something like that. And so talked to them for a while, and just they gave me advice and different information on them. And in about 2015, I wound up getting a hide from them. I traded two. What was it? What did we trade? Oh, two pancake tortoises.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, maybe it was a Mexican. I think the first thing we got was Mexican black king and a albino king, and then in like 2015, 2016, we got a pied. And
Okay.
after that, had the pied for a while. We wound up getting a banana spider not too long after that, and we just had him as pets for a while. Wound up getting two more a little time later and made four. And then my buddy was breeding ball pythons for a while, and he got me into it. So I started getting more and more. And then the next thing you know, we start getting racks and we get rid of all the glass cages and just went straight to racks. And so probably that was probably 2017. I bought a pair of pied het labs from Justin back then. As soon as we saw the Dreamsicle on Ralph Davis's video, we're like, we got to make a Dreamsicle. I couldn't pay that kind of money back then for what they were. So we bought a pair
Right.
of hide head labs from Justin for like $1,700. And
I was just going to say the Het Labs had to be close to $2,000 alone. Yeah.
yeah, he gave us a deal because we took a 1.1, and I think it was like 17 or $1,800. I think we got for him.
Wow.
And then we bred those. That was the first clutch we ever had. Was two Dreamsicles born in our first clutch. That's
Nice.
what started it all. And then not too long
That's
after
awesome.
that, we were over at the Reptile Industries again, and Kristen wanted to. We were trying to decide what we wanted to get, what kind of direction we wanted, and Kristen saw that they had a double het DG clown and a clown het DG, and this is the first female they ever released that had anything to do with the DG clown project. So it was what 2019 maybe 2020 2019 maybe, I can't remember exactly, somewhere around there. So we bought a pair, a 1.1, a double het and a clown head DG, and we made our first DG clown, I think it was 2021, I believe it was. And then
Wow,
that
really early in
started
that
everything from
project.
there. I
Yeah.
wound up picking up some more stuff from Justin, got some more some OD stuff from Ozzy, and we went to the direction of puzzle as well. We started picking up some pieces from Ozzy. I picked up a two of double head DG puzzles and bred them. And we got lucky, 4 eggs. It was a small clutch. And we hit a DG puzzle on 4 eggs on double head to double head. That was in 2023, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 2023 or 2022. I can't remember for sure. But,
Late 22, if I look back, because I kind of remember that thing coming out.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
It probably was
I was like,
2022.
what?
And so that started our puzzle project. We picked up some more pieces, and we've got pretty much a zoo anyway. We've got tortoises, we've got bearded dragons, we've got lizards, we've got frogs, and boa constrictors. We got Brazilian rainbow boa. We've got, and Kristen takes care. We have hognose snakes. We got about 15 or 16 of those.
Nice.
And,
nice.
That's where we're at right now.
So
that's awesome. Ton to unpack there, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Jay.
yeah. I was just gonna say, I you know me, always wanting to go all the way to the beginning, but not to the beginning. But you just kind of smoothed right over this time period. You said you had big cats. Is that what you said?
That was going to be my question too. Yeah.
Oh, what was that about?
Well, when I moved from Chicago, when I was in Chicago, I used to go to the zoos a lot. I was a big fan of the big cats, the leopards, the lions, tigers, and that kind of stuff. I moved here, and I knew you could own them here in Chicago. You couldn't. So when I moved here, I got in contact with some people, and make a long story short, I went and visited them. They were out in the Everglades here. We're not too far from the Everglades. And went and visited them, and they had probably 20 to 25 cougars. They had tigers, they had leopards, bears, otters, you name it, they had it. And they had been doing this for a long time, like 40 to 50 years. And so I was interested. I was fascinated by all of what they had. And I asked if I can start working out there. And he said, come back tomorrow. And I was there the next day. For the next 3 years, I was there a couple days a week working with the cats. And I wound up getting my own. I did a bunch of, we used to do lectures, schools. I did 5 shows at SeaWorld with Jack Hanna. We did a whole, mostly education stuff. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was it. I don't want to disrupt it too much, getting away from the reptiles, but yeah.
No, that's fine.
No,
Let's hear about the
cool,
people,
man.
not so much just snakes or any topic. We're curious about all this. So this is awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah. The first date her and I went on, I took her out to see the big cats.
Yep.
Were you freaked out, or did it? Were you good with it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was obviously good with it. Here they are.
Yeah.
And she wasn't alive. She's got all her limbs. The tigers or nothing got her. Nothing got her.
Yeah.
Not a huge
I thought maybe she just
person, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would be really cool. And I'm trying to remember. So you, like you said, you're Everglades. Well, that's where we grew up too. And I know of a place that had that. Never went, and I cannot remember what the name was. That had the cats.
There's a few out in the States there.
Yeah, there is.
There's probably 4 or 5 people that have them.
Okay. Yeah, that's
and that's funny you mentioned the estates, because Dan and I talked for quite a while. When I heard where he was from, I'm like, oh, we grew up down there, Golden Gate Estates, before it was all grown up and this and that. He's like, oh yeah, I remember all that. But it's just wild how much overlap and area there was in that direction. So we had a great conversation on that. But
good old Naples. It's sure grown since you've been here. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Building everywhere.
Absolutely.
We were in Daytona last year, and I ran into a guy that retired from up here, Minnesota, where I work at, and he had told me he was going down there. So I kind of told him, oh, that's where I grew up, but I didn't know exactly where he was moving to. And we ran into him at Daytona in the food line, believe it or not. And so I asked him where he was at, and we got talking more. And he's in the estates there, and he does the tortoises too. So that was kind of his big thing. Asked him, how he liked it, was loving it, doing really good. But yeah, it's a small world. That's 3-4 different stories all intertwined right there, all from the same area down in the Everglades, which to me is nuts. But
yeah, you never know what you're going to find down here.
Yeah.
Completely wonky.
I mean,
So
there's iguanas running around loose. We've got red-headed agamas come through here. We've got Jesus lizards running through the driveway.
Yeah.
You name it, we have it around here. Alligators going down our sidewalk.
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I remember that from years ago. I mean, there were
Oh, yeah.
alligators halfway up people's back fence. They'd come out of the darn canals and they'd be
Yeah.
crawling over the fence to grab their poodle or some dumb thing. But the cats, what did you actually keep yourself? Did you have several or
My
just
personal cats, I had a well, they call them Florida Panthers here. I had
Oh, sure.
panther, mountain lion, cougar. I had one of them. Then I had a leopard. The shows I did at with Jack Hanna at SeaWorld, I brought the leopard.
Okay. That had to be wild. So did you get this as just a cub
Yeah.
or
Got her at 12 days old at bottle fed her.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. Not somewhere in the adolescent stages to where they're a little out of hand and not quite manageable, right?
No, you wouldn't want to get a leopard as an adult. It wouldn't be good to handle for sure.
No, absolutely not. I mean, even in the, like I say, adolescent stages, it's almost too late. They almost have to be in that very, very young to adjust, right?
Yeah,
Or am
yeah,
I
for sure. And any of them that we used to take the cubs and have them hang out with the dogs, and they kind of kept them in line. The animals,
Huh.
the
sure?
leopards, tigers, lions, cougars. Your pet dog would actually keep them somewhat in line, and they got along great.
That's
Huh.
awesome. That's really awesome. So, what was the working environment for that? Did you have a ton of land, or how did that work?
So back then, when I first started, which was in the early '90s, you only needed a quarter acre. And then now it's changed, but now it's 5 acres. You have to have minimum of 5 acres. But back then I only had a quarter acre. I had an acre. We actually had an acre and a quarter, but yeah. And the cage sizes were ridiculous back then. For a tiger, you only had to have like a 10 by 12.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
that's tiny. Yeah.
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 So they've changed now. They're much bigger regulations and restrictions now. But back then it wasn't. But I always overbuilt everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That is very cool, though. So yeah, get away from the big cats, and then you started into the reptiles. You traded some turtles,
Two pancake tortoises.
tortoises. Okay, for your first pied. Now, was the pied the thing you had to have, or was it kind of like, hey, I'm looking at all these different things, and pied just grabbed you, right?
We like the pies. We like the pies. And back then, it's just a regular pie. I think was like $500 or $600.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
They
we still
weren't.
have her to this day. She's never actually had any babies. We just have her as a pet. So
Isn't that funny? We've got a couple like that too that are not producers for us, but they're going to be around forever. It's the first couple that got you going, and it's just like, well, you're not going anywhere. Not that it would
yeah,
help anyone, probably anyway, right? A real basic animal for someone, but for us, that's like I don't know, is sentimental the right word? That's not the right word,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it kind of is. I think it is.
yeah.
yeah, you have to keep them. So you name them, you keep them, like Jamie says.
She names
Yeah.
every snake we have. Yeah.
That's Jamie's job, right? So let's talk about that dynamic. Being the both of you are such animal people, how do you guys find splitting up the work and stuff between you? Is there like a set, hey, I do this, you do that, or do you just kind of flow through the stuff together? How does that work, that dynamic?
We just work together. Like when I clean, like today we did the baby racks. I had 3 baby racks, and then tomorrow we'll do a couple adult racks, and then Friday we'll do another couple adult racks. Saturday we'll do the rat rack. We do them together.
Gotcha. So no set tasks. Like I always make Jamie do all the rat stuff. Like you do the rats. She
Now
doesn't
we do
let
them
me,
together.
but that's what I try every week, But feeders too. Do you do that side of it for your own benefit, or if so, how
Yeah, we
much?
do
And
ASFs only, just because we live in an HOA community, and yeah, we can't have like a building out back or anything. So they're in the
gotcha.
house.
Okay. And colony count? Are you right up to feeding your whole collection, or
we have 13 colonies. So
okay.
we do 13 colonies, and then I've got some grow out trays for the grow outs. I originally had the rack built by Freedom Breeder. I had customized it so I can do rats on the bottom, ASFs on top. But I found out too quickly that how stinky rats were. So we got rid of those pretty quick.
What do you do for your ratio, your male female ratio for your
In the FB10s, I do a 1.3, and then in the I think it's a 35, I believe is the size. I do like a 2.7.
Okay. Do you find that both males make it through that process, or do you lose one along the way and one becomes like your predominant breeder?
Most of the time, it's good. Sometimes they do kill one of the males.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we started with that 2, like a 210, 212, because if we didn't, you'd lose the one male, and then what do? You start over with a very young male, and you kind of introduce that. Just it's so much catch up time,
the
right?
sacrificial male has to go in.
Yeah,
it's
kind
hard.
of.
It's hard to add into a colony once you start it.
Yeah.
Usually, if they're bad, I'll just take the whole colony and feed them off, and then start a new one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's almost all you can do, really.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So ball python side, or are you involved now? You talked about having some other species and things, but do you breed that other stuff for sale, or do you just basically focus on ball pythons?
everything's pet other than ball pythons except for the hognose. Kristen's been working on the hogs. It's her project. So yeah, she's been doing all that. Hopefully this next winter we'll get some clutches from them.
Okay, so that'll be your first couple clutches from the hognose side.
Yep.
That's got to be pretty exciting. Kristen, what did you get into on the hoggy side? Did you decide you certain genes you're going to work with, or are you just kind of learning the process? Do you have projects going in that?
Learning, and yeah, I just looked at what I like the look of, like everybody else does when they start.
Right.
Yeah.
So I picked the things that look good and then worked my projects that way.
So I feel like a lot of people are really attracted to the hognose, but then, which I'm sure you were, once you got them, do you still feel the same, or did that change?
I still like them, yeah. They're
Yeah.
a little harder for me, breeding and things like that. I had a little difficulty initially, so I was kind of just backed off a little bit, and I'm gonna get back down to it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we have a good friend here in town who's a pretty big breeder, Fathom Hogs. So we've got some stuff from him, and he gives us help like when we have questions and stuff. So he's his name's Mitch from Fathom Hogs.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome to have somebody you can kind of go to when you're starting out to bounce off. Hey, I got this going on. What do I do with this? Right.
Yeah. And communication's one thing, right? Because we have so many avenues for that through Instagram or through Facebook or different messengers or texting even, but it's like local people to you, invaluable. Like, hey, can you swing over and like show me what's going on? What is wrong here? You know what I mean? And they can take a weekend and buzz over for an hour or two and kind of look through your stuff, right? Totally different than trying to pass messages back and forth and photos and confusion. So that's awesome to have somebody close to you.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
works. Absolutely. What are you focusing on in the hogs? I'm curious because it's something we've considered, but I really don't know project lines and what things are hot and what's not in the hognose side.
So I'm just looking at the Yeti type stuff, and then got some lavender, and the storm cloud's the one I really want to work on. I'm waiting for my female to get pretty good size. She's het, and then get a more substantial male that's not so much het, and that's what I really like.
And the Swiss chocolate.
Yeah, the Swiss chocolate I love, but I don't have anything of that yet.
Gotcha. I have heard Swiss chocolate several times, and I think one of the bigger groups doing that, or at least has several in that, is maybe the Herp and Harbins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've gotten stuff from them before.
Okay. Yeah, they're, I think, pretty far into that Swiss chocolate stuff and making some really nice looking stuff. So very cool project.
They're doing good with it.
Yeah, it's an awesome one. I really liked him. So yeah, you got Hognose going. Dan, we know you got the ball pythons. How does 25 look? How's it going so far? And tell us what you got in the works, I guess, now that we know you got DG Puzzle, DG Clown. What's your focus this year?
Making some hats, making some DG Clown head stuff, some Hurricane DG Clown stuff, Confusion DG Clown stuff. We're doing DG Puzzle, making some more hats with the DG Puzzle. Just trying to get some codoms into it, and a bunch of always dreamsicle stuff. That's our first love for the ball pythons was dreamsicle. That's what got us into it. So I've got a ton of dreamsicle stuff. So we got a bunch of those going. I'm working on blackhead, super blackhead, orange dream blackhead, Enchi blackhead, orange dream. Yeah, Mojave, and then we're doing a bunch and mahogany too. True, mahogany, dreamsicle stuff. We're doing a bunch of Ultramel stuff, Ultramel Pied stuff, Ultramel Clown stuff. I've got a Batman double head Ultramel Pied paired to a Ultramel like Clown Girls, and she looks like she's gonna go. So hopefully get some Ultramel Clowns.
That'd be really nice. I mean, you don't see it go as far as like Batman Ultramels and that far into the genes. You see a lot of basic Ultramel Clown stuff, but not a bunch of, triple 4 codoms in them, That'd be cool. That'd be very nice to see.
Yeah, we're excited for that for sure. And I think that's basically it. Mostly all built around those. I only have so much room. We have like a 10 by 13 room, so we got to be kind of picky about what projects because we're maxed out as far as racks go.
I know the feeling. That's almost the exact same size as my room here, so it's pretty cramped in there for sure.
Yeah. You just like a puzzle. You move a cart, a reptile cart out of the way, so you can get the bag of bedding in there, and everything's got to shift, so you have room to get into the actual trays.
Right.
It's great on feeding night, though, right? You just stand in the middle and spin with the rats.
Yeah, I could literally just throw them all.
Yep.
They're within a foot or two, right? So Jay laughs all the time. He's like, all I got to do is stand in the middle and spin in a circle, and I can feed everything.
It's pretty much, pretty much. Except for, matter of fact, we're so much out of room that we've got a couple baby racks, one in the bedroom, one in the living room. Right, you can see it if you look right behind my shoulder. There's one baby rack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is that a sea serpent? Looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, sea serpent rack.
Yeah, sea serpents. Yep. Yeah, I've got 2 of those. Yep.
Fantastic hatchling racks. I mean,
Chris is the best customer service there is for sea serpents. The best incubators. I've been using his incubator since we first started in 2019, and no issues.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's talk numbers and not dollars, but like you talk about the space limitations. What do you consider like your cap? And I guess let's just say breeder males, breeder females. Like where do you, I understand that's going to be a little flexible, but like what are your cap numbers for the two?
I want to keep it in adults wise about a 30.60.
Okay. Perfect. So like a 1 to 2, basically you want.
Pretty much. Yeah. Maybe the males may even get closer to 40 because you never can have enough backup males. So,
right. And for a little bit of variety too, right? Like you don't want to put the same male to 7 girls and just have the same outcomes from all these animals. You need some other codoms and some mix in there, right? So
yeah, and you don't want to kill the poor thing.
No,
well, that too. I mean, unless you have that mythical 13 codom male, I mean, maybe that would work, but you don't see those out there often. So
no.
So what you're saying is thank you, John and Morphforge, for taking that breeder female off my hands because I really needed the space, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I'll have some more adult breeders at the end of this season that has to go too, just to make room for the holdbacks.
Right.
Yeah. I might get a hold of you. Are you doing, when you said blackhead, I heard Mojave and I heard orange dream, any combo there? Blackhead, Mojave, orange dream, maybe in the pied?
I'm going to have I've got Blackhead, Orange Dream, and Chi into the Dreamsicle project.
Okay.
I might actually have a double visual from that this year. I got a chance anyway.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, the Blackhead OD Mojave thing is something that I need to pick up. I've decided, so I'm looking for something there. But
Yeah, I'll let you know for sure what we got, what takes on our side. I was lazy this
yeah,
year. I didn't even pull out the ultrasound once.
didn't you?
Yep.
That's pretty brave. I kind of feel like I almost have to now after doing it for a few seasons. It's just so I feel like I know what's going on versus guessing. I don't know. Do you do the palpitation or feeling the follicles? I've tried to do that. Can't do it. Absolutely have no idea what I'm feeling.
I've never tried it.
I can't
Oh,
feel
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't waste your time.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
No, I just kind of watch to see what the girl tells me, just by watching her, and then
Yeah.
I can usually tell if she's gonna, just by going off food and where she's laying most of the time. So,
Yeah.
but I agree though, the ultrasound does help. I just was lazy this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found ourselves in the same predicament. I'll be honest. I mean, we could have done a much better job of that late fall going into winter last year, and I do think we missed some animals that are now going on the downside, rather than building. They've been through that, and I think we're going to miss a few this season. But it's also not a season where we need a ton of stuff. So, clutch count, where do you guys hope to land? Or what's the goal clutch count, or where you're comfy and I don't need more than that?
We like to keep around 10 to 15 clutches. 10 is a good number, depending on, because a lot of my girls are really big. I mean, I had a few last year lay 14 and 15 eggs. So
Wow. Nice.
um,
Wow.
I try to keep them around 10 to 15 at the most. Once you get up like 20, we had the best year, I think we had 21 or 22 clutches. That was a lot of babies. So it wasn't a big deal, but it was a lot of mouths to feed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a
It can
pile
work
of
real quick.
sorting, and if they don't cooperate, now you got a ton of work, right? Like if 2/3 of these things are deciding they're going to be picky and you have to assist,
Yep.
20 of them out of the
Yeah.
300, it's like you got time sunk into that at that point.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and then you get some, they come out and the umbilical's out, the umbilicus is out. You gotta,
Yeah.
tie them off, and it's just more babies, more work. And like you said, if you've got a lot to assist feed. Luckily, we don't have a ton, but even a couple, you're doing it every week. It's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you do for when you have them hatched? Do you keep them in the incubator for a while? Do you move them out right away? When you do move them out, what do you put them on? Do you use paper towel or what kind of bedding?
So I used to before Charlie before Charlie came along with the shed testing. I used to just take them all, put them in an FB10 with some wet paper towel till they shed out. But now, since Charlie came out with the shed testing, I separate them on paper towel individually, so I can take the first shed and send it right to them and get it over and done
Yeah.
with quickly.
Yeah. Good idea.
Gotcha. Now, how is your luck with that? Like when we do babies, and even if we do intend to separate and test for something, they're so damp, right? Like we keep the humidity so high in these first sheds, like
Right.
90% of the time, it's an absolute mess in there. When they decide to get rid of that, it's like a slurry. You almost can't get the shed. You know what I mean? Is there a trick to that we're missing, or?
On paper towel, it's not too bad. I just soak the wet paper towel, and then it usually comes right off. And then you don't have to. If I was using bedding, it might be more of a pain. But on the paper towel, it's not bad at all. I
Okay.
just take it and hang it over one of the tubs and let it dry with the fan.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so if it's a little damp to begin with, it's fine so long as it doesn't sit that way. That's what you're
Correct.
kind of saying?
Yeah. Yep. Even
Okay.
like the adult ones or the grow outs, now they're on the. I use a fine wood bedding. It's kind of like a blend. It comes from Germany. I get it from some friends of mine here in town. It works really good. It's very tiny, and I keep it dry. I run all my tubs dry unless they're going in the shed, and then I spray them.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't
The
do
beauty,
that here
not
because
here.
we don't
No.
have the atmospheric humidity at
Yeah.
all. So if our tub's not wet, they're out of luck. They are not going to shed well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with the humidifier going full blast, it still isn't adequate.
Yeah, up there I can imagine.
Yeah.
So perhaps that's our issue, because like I say, I
Right.
have yet to get a decent baby shed that I could actually be confident in a test. You know what I mean? They're always so gooey and just a mess by the time we could get them out of there.
Now, do you leave them in the incubator or do you take them out?
We've done both. I've
Both,
kind of switched to incubator now until that first shed is over, but I also put them on their final bedding at that point too. I feel like we've had better luck with them eating. So we take them out of, the hatch tray, and we do put them in a really wet substrate that they're going to be on. And it's like they get used to that smell, I guess, or it doesn't seem like as big an adjustment for them going from paper towel to a bedding to get those first few meals. It's like they're
Yeah.
already ready. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard some people take rat bedding, and take a tray of it and stick it in the incubator when they're hatching, right in the actual incubator, just to get the smell in there. And they say they have a better success rate with the babies
Mhm.
eating. Now, I haven't tried that myself, but it might be something worth trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seemed to go much better toward the end of the year last year than our previous years. We had about it wasn't a real high count. I'd say maybe like a 5% ratio that were just not great eaters. Not all assist feeds, but would wait longer, just weren't real anxious to eat. But like last year, we had a really good luck with it. All the babies really kicked off. And I'm just saying, maybe in my own head, maybe I'm jinxing it now too, but I'm saying it's that transfer to the bedding and then bringing them out. You know what I mean? Because we switched that so much. Hard to say, but we're going to keep doing it.
319 Reptiles says the shed, he had one shed in a water dish, and Charlie said, dry it off, let it dry a few days and send it in. I think the key there is wet destroys the DNA, but it takes a little while. So if you leave it sit for 3 days like that, it's getting a little iffy. But a really wet shed's fine as long as you get it dried and it doesn't just sit wet for day after day. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's probably the case, because I can tell when they're getting ready to, and they're all individual. As soon as I check them every day. So when I open it up, if it's got the shed, I take it right out and try it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So maybe I'm just too worried about it. I probably could have saved a lot of those. I just look at it as this wet dough ball and don't try. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's usually you see it the same day. Probably wouldn't hurt
Yeah.
anything to just stretch it out and dry it. I gotcha.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Good to know, man. That's going to be helpful to people, because I just assumed it was done. So maybe give it a whirl for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're in a couple of different, what do I want to say? Like, I'm in the V unit for it's like a group of guys that for chat and stuff. So everybody's always tossing
Patreon
around a
group.
bunch of ideas there, and then going on all these different podcasts and stuff. You learn little tips and tricks, because not everybody knows everything. So I mean,
Yep.
it's good to going on the Keys network, going on yours. All the different networks helps you out for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's a great outreach. You're thinking Patreon groups, right? Are you in several Patreons, or?
I'm in the V unit. That's Emilio Villarino's group.
Yep. Good guys over there. Super knowledgeable. Been around forever, and definitely a nice group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. So let's talk. And this is just personally for me. I'm going to be stingy. I'm going to be a little bit selfish here, but maybe I'm sure someone else is interested. Let's talk about the DG puzzle project and what you'd really like to see happen with that. Like, what is your thought on what's really going to make that stand out? Like, next moves kind of a deal.
I'm working mine towards DG puzzle with black pastel, blackhead, yellow belly, and then probably hypo. I've got a pairing. If she gets to size this fall, it'll be a DG orange dream pastel double head hypo puzzle to a black pastel yellow belly hypo head puzzle. So I'm trying to eventually get to the triple visual on that. I got a chance to make the double visual on that pairing with black pastel, yellow belly, and orange dream in the mix.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Gotcha. Are you or have you at all looked at the GHI stuff in puzzle?
I have seen it. I don't have any GHI in my collection, to be honest.
Okay.
So I have seen it, and it's pretty cool. But I've got a bunch of codoms that I'm working with, and I just honestly don't even have room for another
Yeah.
whole project of GHI stuff.
Right. Okay. I gotcha. Well, we're doing GHI puzzle stuff. So in our offspring, if you have need or you're curious to add one in, let us know, because I saw that animal and went, I have to at least include GHI going forward. I mean, it was just wild to me it completely changed it. It did
Yeah,
the
the first
pattern,
time I saw
everything
it
about it
was
was different.
Joel at State 48. He made one.
Yep. And in love instantly. So that definitely has to play part for us. So just throwing it out there. If you do
Yep, for
need
sure. That
something in
sounds
that
good.
GHI side, let us
Very
know.
cool.
But
Build
Yeah,
that
I think
edition.
that it's so in its infancy right now, the DG Puzzle Project. There's a lot to do with it right now. Because there still
absolutely.
isn't a ton out there. If you look, there's only maybe one page worth on Morphmarket, even for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in the low teens. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see many at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome direction for sure. Well, we got some snake stuff. We got some big cat stuff. We got your move from Illinois to Florida kind of covered here. Kristen looks really excited to be in the hot seat. Are you guys almost ready for a hot seat? Or
Oh, she's been ready for it since we got on.
she's like, Kyle, this is such BS. I do not want to
Throwing
do
you
this.
right under the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's always fun, and it's just a little bit silly, but it's a little better look at you guys as individuals. We like to focus on the person because let's be honest, we all do reptiles, we all do snakes. All of that is overlap in one way or another. The only connection we're going to get is to know the person, and I personally like that side of it. So, ready or not, we're going to
Time
the
to play
hot
the
seat,
game.
guys. It
Time to play
is
the
time
game.
to play the game, Dan. So your favorite part of the show too. Jamie, are you ready back there? She's nodding. She is ready. Okay, here we go, guys. Have
right.
fun. We'll see you on the other side. Jason and I will try to stay quiet and not laugh too hard. So
Sure.
I
can
don't
move.
know.
No, you're staying right.
Actually wants me to
you
stay
guys.
here. Doing it.
All right, it's time to play the game, guys. Here we go.
There we go.
It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. Ha ha ha. Let's go.
Hello.
Hey.
Hot seat. I get to torture you for 5 minutes.
All right, Kristen first, you said?
Yes,
Okay.
Kristen first.
Okay.
All right, we'll start you off with expensive gifts or homemade gifts.
Oh, jeez. Homemade gifts.
Are you a crafter? Do you like crafting?
I like a lot of different crafts here.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a nice little family project time thing to do. Would you rather be stuck in a romantic comedy with your worst enemy or a horror movie with your best friend?
Horror movie. It's my best friend.
Spicy foods or sweet foods?
Sweet foods.
Snowmen or sandcastles?
Sandcastles.
Have you ever seen snow?
Yes. I used to
Yes.
live in Ohio.
Okay, very good. Would you rather be around negative loved ones or positive strangers?
Positive strangers.
Mm-hmm. You can either solve world hunger or cure cancer. Which is it?
Cure cancer.
Yes. Fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is...
A waste of time.
Touche. That's funny. It's okay. It's okay. Coffee date or cocktail date?
Coffee date.
Do you put cream in your coffee?
Yes.
Yeah.
She lived in England for 15 years.
They're
Oh,
actually tea.
Oh, that's
very
sweet.
cool.
But I like
When
it.
when I first met John, I put like, I don't know, 3 inches of creamer in my coffee, and now I drink it black. That's so weird.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot of cream, but I do put cream.
Yeah, it adds a little sweetness. Would you rather have no elbows or no knees?
Oh man.
Jeez.
Pick one.
No elbows.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ooh, mint chocolate chip.
Yes, I love that one. Zombie apocalypse or alien invasion?
Alien invasion.
Guitar or piano?
Guitar.
Photographic memory or time travel?
Time travel.
Scuba diving or skydiving?
Skydive.
Would you ever do either one?
I would. Yeah.
Oh, I think both terrify me. If you could talk to only one species of animal, who are you talking to?
Oh, this is the easy one.
Dogs.
Dogs? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I knew that.
sweet.
They're my
I
number one
always wonder
babies.
what our dog is thinking about besides food.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you pick?
Jeez.
Think of a cartoon you watched.
Fred Flintstone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very good. What is your favorite part of this hobby / lifestyle?
I like the people a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very friendly. They're so welcoming and kind all the
Yes.
time. Yeah. How do you like to spend your free time when you're not working with the reptiles?
Photography and with my dogs.
How many dogs do you have?
5 dogs.
All
4
different
dogs.
breeds?
Sorry, 4 dogs. I
4?
want 5.
She's working on number 5,
No.
Dan. Watch out.
You kill me.
Oh. So cute. Aw.
It's 5 cats, 4 dogs. Sorry.
Oh, wow. You guys do have quite the zoo over there.
Oh yeah.
If you could go back in time and talk to little Kristen, what would you tell her?
Don't let people bother you so much in your younger years.
Right? It really doesn't matter all that much, does it?
Doesn't.
You get so worked up. I agree with you. Well, you survived the hot seat. It wasn't so bad, was it, Kristen?
It was not so bad. Just the Taylor Swift one off.
Right? I know. It's fun to throw in a random question like that. All right, Dan, you're up. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. Okay, mountain hike or river paddle?
Oh gosh, I like both, but river paddle.
Okay, swarmed by mosquitoes or covered in poison ivy?
Got to go with the mosquitoes. I hate poison ivy.
I worked with a gal once and she had poison ivy and she put the glove, like the oven mitts on her hands so she would quit scratching. It was pretty funny.
I can get near a poison ivy plant and I get it.
Yeah, right? Ugh,
Badly.
it's bad stuff. A day out on the water or a full day of herping?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. I'm leaning toward. I got to go with the day on the water on my boat.
Okay. Are you a risk taker or are you cautious?
Risk taker.
Okay. Nature photography or sketches?
Nature photography.
Bird watching or fishing?
Fishing.
Archery or firearms?
Firearms. I was out today at the range.
Oh yeah, I want to do that. That'd be awesome. It'd be fun. John's gonna buy me a pink gun.
Is it going to be a real gun or is it going to be a fake gun?
It's gonna be real. Well, like, yeah, so I can shoot at targets, not animals ever. Smoked meat or grilled fish?
Smoked meat.
Okay. Would you rather have your dream reptile or your dream truck?
Dream reptile.
Okay. We'll find out what that is later.
Okay.
Would you rather live near the river or deep in the forest?
Live near the river.
Okay. So you can take your boat out, yeah?
Yeah, or either that or just walk to the river.
Yeah. Would you rather eat cold beans or burnt meat?
Burnt meat.
Would you rather wrestle an iguana or chase a loose gecko for an hour?
Oh man, they both sound exciting. I'll have to lean towards wrestling the iguana.
Would you rather never own reptiles again or never go outdoors again?
Well, then I'd probably just never go outdoors again, but keep the reptiles.
Right. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
It depends. Both, really. I mean, if I'm going fishing, I'm an early bird. Otherwise, I stay up late.
Very good. Ketchup or hot sauce
Ketchup.
on everything?
Most stuff.
Do you put ketchup on your omelets?
I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
Okay. Good. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you pick?
Oh, Foghorn Leghorn for sure.
All right. If you could possess any superpower, what would you want?
Predict the future.
Yeah, that would be
Well, that way I
a
can get the
blessing
Powerball
and a
numbers.
curse. Right? What's one goal you have for 2025?
Just to keep making cool reptiles and doing a lot of traveling with my wife.
Very nice. I love that. In your opinion, what 3 words describe you best?
Easygoing, honest, and dedicated.
Very good. I like those. And if you could go back in time and talk to little Dan, what would you tell him?
I'd say I would have started on the ball pythons a lot earlier because I knew now how good it was in 2020. I would have got it already ahead of time.
Right? Right? You guys were awesome in the hot seat. Thank you so much. It was fun. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. Thank you, everybody that tuned in tonight. And as always, like, follow, share, and subscribe.
Awesome job. Awesome job. And I wanted to give you a shout out too. I could blow myself up, but I'm not going to. Vision Quest.
Yeah, I'm getting one
baseball
of those.
jersey.
Yeah, nice
Jason?
shirt, John. Nice shirt.
Oh, it's an amazing shirt. It's absolutely fantastic. Love the thing. I absolutely wear it for shows and I hang it. I baby it. I put stuff around it so it doesn't get cat hair. I baby it. I don't even wash the thing because I just want to wear a shirt underneath, so it stays. Yeah, it's a fantastic shirt. So guys, if you have any questions about good merch and a very nice shirt with a fantastic design, I think it's fantastic.
If you I only had to pay John $20 to say that,
along.
guys. Just like you know.
That's an awesome. I'm gonna get one. That's an awesome shirt.
It is. It's fantastic.
I don't have different colors, honestly. I've had those for a while. The jerseys. What I do is I normally just do like a whole batch of a certain color. At the very beginning, I did a bunch of colors of different shirts, but normally I just do like a gray or a charcoal gray or a black.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's fantastic. Cool. It is. So definitely get one, guys. Whatever Dan's going to charge you for it, it's worth it. Even if you have to get 2 snakes from Dan to get the shirt, it is worth it because you'll like all of them. You'll like the snakes and you'll like the shirt. So,
very good. Very good. All right, John, your shirt's coming.
Right? So Jamie talks about the shooting, and you do like the firearms. You were at the range. What do you do for range shooting? Do you do clays? Do you do targets? Are you a rifle guy?
I have a bit of everything. So today I
Okay.
just took my Glock and just did some just regular shooting for at targets, 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet. And
Okay.
then sometimes I'll take my AR. I have a hunting rifle, shotguns. I do the clays as well. We do trap and skeet. But today was just the pistol.
Gotcha. Okay. In a pistol, what do you prefer? Do you go for 45s, 9s, 7s? Any?
All of mine are 9 millimeters. I have quite a few, but they're all 9s.
Okay. Gotcha. Always interesting to hear people's preferences. You get such a wide variety of what people like, and yeah, I agree. I like pistol shooting at the range just to go pop a few off, just to make sure that you still keep the mechanics down, if nothing else, because you do kind of lose that over time. Your comfort with it, the functionality, the way you set up aim, everything about it it's a practice. Not practice makes perfect, but a practice makes comfortable. And I feel like you want that to be routine. You don't want it to be awkward, right? I mean, it's the kind of thing where you want to have some sort of mastery or not at all.
Yep, for sure. Practice, for sure.
Right. So interesting, man. It's always been something I enjoyed too. Jamie bugs me all the time, so we need to get a pink gun for her.
They
Jay,
make
you
them.
look
I've seen
like the
pink.
pink.
I've seen purple, green, yeah,
Just put
blue.
my picture on it.
Right? Put Jay's picture on it.
That'd be nice. Put you on one side and John on the other.
There you go.
So, right, we pause because Jamie's talking back there. What we're going to do at this stage is we are going to bring her out too. I think we've gotten through most of what people had for questions directly for you guys, but I like to get everybody on the screen after the hot seat because Jamie will have questions of her own for both of you. A lot of times it's about the inner workings of the couple and how that works. I know we touched on that, but I think that's super important because we've seen both sides of that, right? We've seen couples that manage this really well and other ones that are kind of at each other's throat constantly. They don't want them to spend the money or they're not interested, so they spend so much time apart. So it's good to see like an example of where both people are engaged and they're enjoying it as a working unit, right? So we'll get her out here if you guys
All right,
don't mind. All right.
get her in the hot seat.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's her turn.
I'm waiting for somebody to throw me in the hot seat. About time.
Let's switch that up.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened more.
It will. Next week is your turn for that. So
Oh yeah, the
heads up for
RWO
you.
invasion.
Yes, that is coming.
It'll be fun. I need to find out what that dream animal is, Dan.
Well, when I first moved here, my buddy over on the other coast in Miami, he was a school teacher for Miami School District. When I'd go over to his house, he had venomous and a bunch of other snakes, and he had a tiger. But he had two indigos, Eastern indigos, and I always wanted an Eastern indigo. And now we're able to actually get them and own them in Florida. So it just started last year, so we can actually keep Eastern indigos now. So I'm going to eventually get an Eastern indigo.
How
Nice.
how big do they get?
They'll get about 8 to 9 feet.
Okay, not terrible, not unmanageable. Yeah, very cool, very cool.
And stay relatively agile and slender, yes? I mean, if I'm thinking
they'll
correctly.
eat anything that you have that dies too. Like if you had some
Right.
babies that came out dead, they'll actually eat them.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste.
Yeah.
Right.
Kristen, I heard you guys have
indigenous
frogs.
indigos.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say there's indigenous ones there in Florida too, right?
That's why we weren't allowed to have them originally. And
Yeah,
they just actually made it so that you can get them as of last year.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have screaming frogs?
Tree frogs.
Oh, okay.
Tree frogs and the native Florida ones, green tree frogs.
Fun. Do you guys have any spiders?
I don't. I used to own a Mexican redleg though, tarantula. I don't have any at the moment, but I know they're getting huge right now as far as popularity. Jumping spiders, tarantulas.
Not with me, Dan.
Yeah, we'll never get a spider around here.
My buddy down the street who got me into breeding, he's actually doing a bunch of stuff with spiders now. So who knows? I may get one again.
Yeah. I saw on Dan's Instagram page, Kristen, that you photograph wildlife and some really great pictures of birds. Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of birds here. So
Yeah.
I do, I like nature stuff. So any kind of animals, wildlife, just nature, period. But there's a lot
Just
of birds, so I do a lot of that here.
yeah. Do you just take hikes and bring your camera and just wait for something to pop out? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we go out west probably every other year to
Yeah.
either Teton, Yellowstone.
Cool.
What's the other one?
Oh, awesome.
Glacier. Yeah,
Very
so we
cool.
usually do, and we go up to Georgia probably every other year too, and do what is it, Blue Ridge Mountains. So we go
Yeah.
up there. We usually rent a cabin, take the dogs with us, and we'll stay up there for a week.
Very cool. That'd be so fun.
Awesome.
Have you gotten any pictures of owls? I love owls.
She just did them last week. The burrowing owls. They're
Oh,
hatching right now.
they're they're cute little ones.
I'll send you some pictures. I'll text them to
yeah.
John.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So cool. Very cool.
That's my stress reliever.
Yeah,
But
Right.
it's
for sure.
Have you
That's
ever
gonna
gotten
be my
anything
next-
that's really rare? Photos of something that's pretty rare?
while back, probably, gosh, it's been a long time now. I did go to Africa. So I took cheetahs, leopards, lions, rhinos, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of those pictures. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's
How
what she
long,
does most of the time. We're lucky enough where we're at here that there's a bunch of ponds, and the birds come here all winter long. So she can, I mean, there's been rosy spoonbills here. There's limpkins right now with babies. There's stilts sitting on eggs right now as we speak. Egrets, herons, white pelicans. We have it all here. So she's always there. I mean, just all we gotta literally go is a minute and a half down the road, and she take pictures of birds.
Because it's been
Very
so
cool.
dry
That's
this
cool.
year. Our lake here in the community's like everything's here.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you have to like day trek out to this stuff, or is it right close to you, or is there a particular place you prefer over another? Like regionally, what is your like go to if you're just gonna go out for the day and do that?
It's only really like 20, 30 minutes. Or lately it's just been right here.
Yeah, lately it's been right down the street. We just walked there.
We've got more water in our lake than the places like Shag Valley or Everglade areas. But we're like pretty close to everyone. So
Yeah, our Rookery Bay is literally down the street from us at the end of the street, so we can actually just drive down to the end. I mean, we got water right there. We can fish. We've seen gators there. They actually have a colony of crocodiles there. So
get to see them though.
yeah, we haven't seen those, but the gators we see all the time.
Yeah.
I'd say that is the crocodile population getting to be numerous? Is it getting pretty widespread now? I know it was started off years ago. It was pretty thin. I mean, it's very rare to see one, but I understand those numbers are kind of getting bigger, right?
Yeah, so the down in Rookery Bay right here, I think they have about 15 or 20 adults, and they've had a few clutches. As you go across the alley towards Fort Lauderdale, they've actually got a colony of caimans now as well. What did I tell you?
Oh, wow.
Caimans?
I think they were spectacles.
Spectacle caimans, and then over in the Miami area, they have quite a few crocodiles by the power plant.
Gotcha. By the power
Man.
plant always sounds suspicious to me. You know, sounds like where you don't want them is by anything like
They get
that.
bigger that way.
Right? I was going to say, it sounds to start like a Black Lagoon story here that Tyson might latch onto. But
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
As Dan enters the power plant.
right. You also, in our talk, Stan, you're a big day charter fisherman, and you do this pretty regularly. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that and how that got started from Chicago or Illinois area? What?
Yeah,
Like
so
what?
I always fish Lake Michigan, salmon, steelhead.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That kind of stuff. And then when I moved here, I couldn't fish for salmon and steelhead, so I had to start fishing Gulf of Mexico, snook, tarpon, redfish, trout. And then if we go offshore, at grouper, snapper, kingfish, African pompano. But I still get my steelhead salmon fix. I go to Alaska quite a bit.
Oh, nice. Man, you can't
Nice.
get more legit salmon than going to Alaska.
Yeah,
Right to the
I even
source,
took her
huh?
what, 3 times or 4 times.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times, and she's on the brochure cover of the lodge holding a steelhead.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice. All right, we're gonna have to find this. What lodge? So people
Right.
can go out and look.
Glacier Bear Lodge in Yakutat, Alaska.
Okay, we're definitely finding this. Okay, not right this second.
I can
mean,
send
we
you the
won't put her on the
picture of it.
spot.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
That's
Yeah, I
fun.
gotta
Super
see
cool.
this. It's awesome. So you guys do a lot of this traveling, which I'd like to touch on a little bit if you don't mind. And again, you can just tell me, I'd rather not talk about that.
No,
But
go ahead.
how the heck do you guys, with all these animals, how do you arrange this? Do you have people that'll come over and keep an eye on things, or
Yeah.
because we physically can't do it? Do you know what I mean?
Right now, I have my parents living not far, like 30 minutes from here. So my mom takes the dogs at her house she's got 10 dogs.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
So what's
she'll
4
come
more?
over daily to feed and watch everything else as well, just back and forth.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
fortunate. We're lucky that way too. Our parents will definitely lend a hand. They don't hesitate. Well, might be a little hesitant with some things, but they'll do it. If you ask, they'll do it. Can always count on them for sure.
It's funny, when we were in Daytona, we asked Dad to come feed the snakes at Jay's, and he still tells the story. He's like, I opened the one tub and it just came flying out at me. It's so funny.
No, that's one thing we don't have her mom do is feed the snakes. Generally speaking, the snakes don't need to be taken care of at all.
It's usually a week or less.
Yeah, we usually get everything taken care of ahead of time, put extra water in,
Right.
just clean right literally the night before we leave. And they're generally good for the whole week.
Yeah.
Other than I have the sensor push in all my racks and my room and everything, keep track of the temperatures. One time the circuit breaker trip, so I had to have her mom come out and flip the circuit breaker because I could see that the rack was going off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is the beauty of the reptiles. You've got some time. It's next best thing, I guess, from furry would be a cat. I mean, cats can do okay as long as they got enough water, enough food, and a place to go to the bathroom for a spell. But dogs, man, they either got to board them or somebody's got to take them. No options there.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just it too. And it's like, we're cool on the reptile side. I don't dare ask someone to come over and take care of rats, and they have to be watched. Like,
Yeah.
you got to check water, you got to check food, and they can't go much more than a week before you've got an absolute disaster in their bins, and you got to be cleaning. And
Yeah.
I can't ask someone to do that. So, like, the week is our limit. That's what we're gonna get out of, is a week, and beyond that, we're out of luck. So.
That's what we do.
Yeah, it's the same thing we do. And the only thing I have her mom do with the rats is just I always leave her extra gallons of spring water just to dump in the 5-gallon bucket just to make sure the water is high enough for the rats.
Yeah.
Top things off and be good with it.
Yep.
So what did we miss, guys? Was there things you wanted to get out there, tell people about, projects that are coming up, things you're excited for this year that we haven't touched on? Or
No, you guys covered it all. Yeah.
No, come on now. We had to miss something, Dan.
No, my favorite part of the whole thing was when it was time to play the game.
It's time to play the game.
And most people do like that. I think the audience and the guests, they're like, I can't wait for the hot seat, like everybody we've had on here. So
It's
No,
fun.
you guys did a good job covering pretty much everything. The projects, yeah, we just plugging along and putting the snakes together and hope that they give us what we want at the end. If not, we'll try again next year.
Exactly. Yeah.
absolutely, for sure. we have your links below. Everybody go check out Vision Quest. They've got a really nice Instagram with tons of great photos of what they're working on.
Those are all
and
hers.
Stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine, right?
All
Same
the pictures
here.
that you see in Morphmarket and stuff, that's all her.
He does the
Yep.
video, the reels.
Okay. Is that something you guys plan to do? Do you plan to do more YouTube side where you actually record some of the way you go about things and do any of that, or are you good?
No, I'm good on that.
Yeah, that's a big miss for you.
Pass.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Next
then the
question.
last, yes, I was gonna say the last thing we do. I did it again, Jamie.
You said
I said I would do
do.
that. The last thing we do is we ask the guest who you'd like to shout out, who you'd like to thank, somebody that's really been helpful to you in the last bit of time, or somebody that's actually just brought you into this and really just been like a go-to for things. Just a general shout out for people you appreciate.
All right. Well, so for us in the reptile world, the Bells at Reptile Industries, although they don't have any social media type stuff, but they were the ones that started us on all this. And then of course Justin and Ozzy, and then the V Unit, all the guys over there, Emilio, Brock from Morph Arts. Those are the guys I talk to pretty much daily. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Mitch
heck of
over
a
at
group of
Fathom
people.
Hogs
It's at Fathom Hogs for hogs. Yep.
Herb Harbins.
Herb Harbins. We talked to them every year at Daytona. We talked to them for a while.
Yeah, super nice couple. I mean, very
Yeah.
nice.
Are you guys
people.
going to Daytona this
Absolutely.
year?
We can't. We wanted to really bad. Jamie's family camping trip landed on the same weekend. We do it every year. We weren't going to bail on that. I did want to hit Daytona again. We had such a blast last year. But
Well, why can't you camp down in the Everglades and then just hit Daytona one day?
right?
Solid
Yeah.
plan. Bring that mosquito spray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the malaria shots, the mosquito nets, the spray, all of that stuff. But
I'm afraid half the family would go for that, and the other half would be like, "No way, Jose."
Yeah.
It's a
darn.
big not a chance. Absolutely.
That's funny. Kristen, have you ever been told you look like Daryl Hannah?
No.
I think you look like
little
her.
Well, you have now.
There you go. What are your thoughts on that? Is that somewhere in the Taylor Swift range, or is this better?
No.
No, that's a much better range.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
going to say, I agree. Absolutely. But appreciate you guys 100%. Thank you very much for coming on,
Hey,
spending time with
Very
us.
cool. Thank you
telling
guys for
everybody
having us. It
about
was
you.
awesome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
I have 4,000 trivia questions.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
They
do
gave
it.
Let's just
so
do one.
much information, right? But I have two that I can't decide between, A or B.
All right. She does this every week, guys. You guys get to pick A or B for the trivia for the week. This is Forge Coin for somebody. So
Hey,
Okay. Tonight's trivia question is, what type of big cat did Dan bring when he did SeaWorld with Jack Hanna? Oh, look at that one.
That's a cute one.
yeah. Well, you guys pick the cute ones if you're going to have a bunch of them.
That's treasure.
Super cute. And so calm.
Yeah. What are
It's
those?
not a Bengal.
Charleston?
Not a Bengal, Will. Huh?
What breed of dog is that?
Cavalier King Charles.
Yes.
King
that's-
Charles. That's what I was
Yep,
trying to pin down.
yep.
I couldn't.
Me
Oh.
too. I'm like,
Look what we got. Look at the chat.
oh, we have a winner. Ding, ding, ding.
Jamie was clicking and I was clicking.
Oh, I
We
know.
got it
I'm
both.
like, I thought I clicked it. Jeffrey, congratulations.
So
Nice
$10
job.
to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you, sir. Go back and watch that episode with Jeffrey if you did not see it. Jeffrey, I think he preferred Jeff, actually. We're going to take Kike's suggestion this week, and we're going to do both.
Oh, we're gonna do
Jamie
another
quits
one?
hitting the buttons, we're
Well,
going to do Kike's
I'm
suggestion.
controller of the buttons, John.
We're going to do both. We're going to do A and B. So it's $20 going out this week, guys.
Oh, nice.
Trivia question 2.
Do you have a question about a puzzle? Hopefully, so Will can get the answer here.
Nope,
Right?
it's not
That's
about
all
a
he
puzzle.
listens. That's all he
So
listens to.
this was the other question that I had typed up. How many dreamsicles did Dan and Kristen get in their very first clutch?
Ooh, that's a toughie.
Yeah, I
think
don't
somebody will
remember
get this,
that
though.
one actually.
What?
I don't
It's
remember the
fine.
number.
Dan. Jeez. It wasn't a puzzle question, so Will is wrong.
Oh,
And
there we got it.
I'm a winner.
The Pie Man.
Dwight the Pie Man.
The Pie Man.
Congrats, Dwight.
Congratulations.
You're on the board, sir. You have 10 Forge coin in your pocket as well. Forge coin does get updated every week, guys. It goes into our Discord. If anyone ever has a question on Forge coin, just DM us. We'll shoot you over the last list of who has what. But don't forget, there's like 28 different people you can go spend Forge coin with. Go grab a shirt. Go grab a hat. Spend the $20 and get some kind of merch, right? It goes to good people in the community and helps us out too. So appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Dan, Kristen, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate
Thanks,
you
guys.
guys 100%.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
Final
you.
Pleasure
words,
having you.
like it's time to play the game.
Game. I'll come back just to do that part.
We will
We'll
have
have
you
to have
back.
a hot
Absolutely.
seat panel sometime. That would be fun. I can put like 9 people in the hot seat.
Yes, all at once. And the first one to answer is the
That'd
one
be-
that gets it, right? So
That'd be badass.
appreciate you guys. 100%. Come stop out next week, guys. Thank you everyone that came out tonight. We have a little bit of a weird show. We've got RWO, all those characters over there, Ken and Justin and Vance and Stan and Jesus, all the guys from RWO side of things are invading the show. So it could be an absolute train wreck. It will be an absolute train wreck, but it's going to be a blast. Train wrecks aren't all bad if no one dies, right? So it could be comical. Things could hit things can crash, trees can come down. No one gets hurt in the end. It's going to be fun.
And the Forge gets to be put in the hot seat.
Yeah, we get hot seated by someone.
Nice.
So we haven't pinned that down. But come out, join us. It's going to be a good time. Everybody on the show is going to be having fun. As well as the audience. We got things to throw out there from both sides, RW and the Forge. So there's going to be stuff flinging all over the place next week. Dan, Kristen, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys 100%. Had a blast with you tonight. Hang out while we close this out, guys. Everybody else, 2 days left in your week, and you got a weekend coming up again. We just came off a holiday weekend where we all got a little spoiled, but there's one only 2 days away. So
have a good night, everyone.
Let's get there. Appreciate it. See you guys. Peace out. Let's get the heck out of here, yeah?